Okay, so let's just jump right in. Today, we're going to break down mentalist Oz Pearlman's incredible masterclass on the art of reading people. It's a skill that honestly feels like a real-life superpower, but he swears it's something anyone can learn. And as part of that, he makes a pretty bold promise that you'll never forget a name again. Right from the start, Pearlman makes one thing super clear. This is not about being psychic. He doesn't have some kind of supernatural gift. What he does have is a skill, one he spent 3 decades perfecting by, in his own words, reverse engineering the human mind. And just to show you what he means, he puts his skills to the test with a pretty incredible feat. He pulls a random guy named Ian from the audience and within moments tells him the exact historical figure he's thinking of, Alexander the Great. Just bam, out of nowhere. It's a mind-blowing way to show you what's possible. But here's where it gets really interesting for you and me. He takes this amazing stage trick and completely flips it, turning it into a practical, everyday life hack that any of us can start using right away. He kicks it off with something we've all been through, right? You know that feeling. You're at a party, you're at a work thing, you meet someone new, they tell you their name, and then poof, it's just gone, vanished. Sound familiar? Yeah, I thought so. So, to fix that exact problem, Pearlman makes this huge promise. He offers a powerful solution, and he literally calls it a social superpower. And the formula he uses to get there is surprisingly simple and honestly kind of brilliant. He calls it his shampoo formula, which is just genius. You know, from the back of every shampoo bottle, lather, rinse, repeat. Well, he took that idea and turned it into a foolproof technique for remembering names. So let's break it down. So yeah, it really boils down to this super simple 3-step method. It's incredibly easy to remember. First, you listen, then you repeat, and finally, you reply. That's the whole thing. Now let's break down what each of those actually means. Okay, step 1, listen. And this right here is the real game changer. Pearlman argues the problem isn't your memory at all. The problem is you never actually heard their name to begin with. Think about it, right? The second they introduce themselves, your brain is already racing, trying to figure out what smart thing you're going to say next. It's a listening problem, not a memory problem. All right, step 2, repeat. This is where you do something. You just say their name back to them, and ideally, you say it twice. Something like, Ashley, it's great to meet you, Ashley. Doing this helps lock it in for you, but it also shows them you're actually paying attention and that you care enough to get it right, which, is a huge plus. And that brings us to the final step. Reply. This is how you really make that name stick. He gives you 3 really easy ways to do this. You could give a compliment, creating a little visual hook, like, Ashley, I love those earrings. You could ask how to spell it, or you can try and make a personal connection. And the best part? He says the connection doesn't even have to be real. It's just a little trick for your brain. All right, so let's get to the last part here, because this is where he takes this little memory trick and blows it up into this really powerful idea about what it actually takes to succeed at, well, anything. So Pearlman says, without a doubt, the #1 question he gets after every single show is this one. Aren't you afraid of getting it wrong? People see the risk, They get it. What if you're up there in front of all those people and you just fail? What happens then? And his answer to that question, man, this is really the key to the whole thing. He says the single most important factor for success on stage, in business, in life, is an unshakable, absolute belief that it's going to work. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe it'll happen, you're already halfway there. And look, to prove he's not just making this up, he does something pretty wild. For his grand finale, he doesn't even do the trick himself. He gets a random guy from the audience, Brett, and he basically transfers his belief into him. And what happens? Brett correctly guesses what another guy, Jeff, is thinking, Barack Obama. I mean, come on, it's an incredible way to prove his point. And that just leaves us with this one final, really powerful question that kind of puts everything into perspective. Because, you see, this was never really about just remembering names, was it? It's about a whole mindset. So the real question he leaves us with is this. What could you do? What could you achieve if you just stopped being so afraid of being wrong?